Happening now, the latest on a drug bust recovering methamphetamine off the streets of Jamestown, and a look at efforts to address the lack of skilled workers here locally. Plus, we celebrate nurses across our region.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a 49-year-old man was allegedly busted with illegal drugs ready for sale during a traffic stop in Jamestown. On Sunday evening, officers with the Jamestown Police Department stopped Drew Thompson's vehicle during a targeted patrol detail in the area of North Main and East 3rd Streets. Police stopped Thompson's vehicle for an alleged traffic violation, failure to come to a complete stop. Following an investigation, Thompson was found allegedly in possession of methamphetamine, scales, drug packaging, and a ledger. He faces several traffic and drug charges, including criminal possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell and criminally using drug paraphernalia. Well, the lack of skilled workers combined with minimum wage increases is becoming a problem for manufacturing businesses here in Jamestown. Alyssa Wright joins us live in the studio today with more on the state of manufacturing here locally, which was highlighted during a recent visit to Weber Knapp, an industrial hinge innovator. Alyssa?
Congressman Nick Langworthy met with Weber Knapp President Rhonda Johnson and Manufacturers Association of the Southern Tier Executive Director Ton Tranum last Friday for a roundtable discussion and a tour of the plant.
I guess the thing I always want people to know about manufacturing, it's not just a machinist. It's not just a welder. You come in, I say this to Todd all the time, it's like a well-stocked mall.
One of the biggest issues recognized by the group is the lack of people wanting to join the workforce.
You have the education in place. You have to have the people that are hungry to learn that skill. The more the minimum wage goes up, the less incentive there is for some people to want to gain a skill. You can make a really good wage, raise your family, have good quality of life. So we need to get more people in to understand that.
A lot of people, don't know how incredibly important of an economic development engine manufacturing is. And with that, the only thing that keeps that engine running is people, right? We can innovate, we can put in cobots, we can put in a variety of processes, but you still need people.
Last week, a technology-fueled competition called STEM Wars took place at SUNY JCC to try and entice youth interest in the field.
I'm going to do my part, and we're going to invest in workforce development. And I'm going to fight for every dollar we could find to plug into programs like that, because we can create the pipeline, but we also, it takes people in leadership to, go to young people and talk about the virtues of careers in manufacturing and how this is going to strengthen your community.
In order to help, the Manufacturers Association of the Southern Tier is launching a new program to track high school students interested in entering the manufacturing field through college. The goal would be to entice them to return home after school to work locally at a company like Weber Knapp. Reporting live in studio, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. Well, since the Warren County School District Board rolled out their master facilities plans, parents have voiced support and opposition to the idea. One of the groups of parents in Warren County, PA, opposing the plan have now created a new group called Two Schools, One Fight. Nate Lindberg, a Sheffield Middle High School parent and former Warren County School District Board member himself, wants to make sure that the school does not close down. He said one of the goals of the group is to empower parents by helping them learn more about their child's education, and he thinks that the current setup of the board is unacceptable.
Parents who oftentimes are not involved because it is such a hassle for them to do things inside of the construct of the Warren County School District.
According to the Warren County School District's board plan, they will meet once again, holding an engagement session to hear more from the public on April 18th. Well, a local boys basketball team has won New York State's high school basketball championships. On Saturday, the Randolph Cardinals boys basketball team defeated the Hindale Blue Devils 58-55. The team took to the court during the New York State Public High School Athletic Association's Class C championship that was at Cool Insurance Arena in Glens Falls, New York. Senior Jaden Huntington and Carson Conley built Randolph's edge during that game with 28 and 15 points respectively. Freshman Cooper Freeman also contributed greatly to the win via his free throw successes. Certainly a great job to that group of young men. Well, a $20 lottery ticket was sold at a Randolph convenience store over the weekend. The New York Lottery announcing that a Take 5 winning ticket was sold at the 7-Eleven located at 269 Main Street during Saturday's drawing. The ticket is worth $20,599.50. The winning numbers for the Take 5 drawing are drawn from a field of 1 to 39. The drawing is televised twice daily at 2:30 and at 10:30 p.m. The local draw game prizes any amount that may be claimed up to a year from the date of the drawing. Certainly exciting to see. Although sometimes we don't always get to know, Andrew, who wins those drawings, right? They don't always come forward and say that they're the one, because then you end up with third cousins that you've never seen before who want to be your friend.
Is it you that won and you're just not telling
I wish. I wish.
Maybe he did win. He just doesn't want to tell anyone. But
I
I wouldn't
guess it would depend
I wouldn't
whether we-
blame you if you didn't tell anyone.
Right? Whether we all go out to lunch after this.
I wouldn't tell anyone either, even if I won $1, which I'm not even that lucky enough to even win $1. Here's what's happening across Erie from the Mill Creek Skycam. Traffic is flowing nicely on Peach Street out in Erie with mostly sunny skies out there. Let's take a look at some of those snowfall totals we had over the weekend from the lake effect snow. The big winner was Little Valley with 7.2 inches, Cattaraugus at 6.2 inches, Randolph at 6 inches. Back here in Chautauqua County, Jamestown at 3.5 inches at the Jamestown Airport, and Faulkner saw 3 inches from that lake effect snow that we saw over the weekend. At least for now, the snow is done. It was a chilly day yesterday. The sun might have came out in the afternoon, but we only made it to a high of 26 degrees yesterday. The low was 16. The records for today, 76 is the record high set back in 1918, and the record low of 2 degrees set back in 1993. Here's a look at the forecast for the afternoon. Beautiful afternoon out there as the first day of spring arrives today. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures today will top off in the low to mid 40s. I'll have a look at the full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much for that. As we continue, Governor Kathy Hochul, she declares Maple Weekend throughout this month of March. What it means for local maple producers coming up. And later, if you or a loved one or a veteran that has experienced an exposure to a toxic substance while serving our nation, you might be entitled to some new health resources. We explain as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. Seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
On Sunday, New York Governor Kathy Hochul issued a sweet proclamation that the weekends of March 18th through the 19th and then the 25th through the 26th are maple weekends here in the Empire State. Hochul highlighted that New York maple producers experienced a record-breaking year in 2022, producing 840,000 gallons of maple syrup. New York State continues to rank the second in the nation for maple production. Maple weekends usually take place throughout the month of March every year. At maple farms across the state, they open their doors to the public to give people a chance to taste the pure maple syrup right from the source itself. This year, Maple Weekends will take place at nearly 150 maple sugar farms across the state. To find a location near you, head on over to visit mapleweekend.nysmaple.com. Well, back in August 2022, the PACT Act was passed in the hopes of improving health access and funding for U.S. veterans exposed to toxic substances while serving. Well, now, the law of the land, New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is sharing what veterans need to know about the additional resources available to them. WENY's Sham Shapiro has more.
The PACT Act creates an easier connection to healthcare resources for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic chemicals during their service. The federal law opens eligibility up to younger veterans to more healthcare resources. People who served during Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, and all the way back to the Vietnam War can apply to receive the expanded benefits.
No service member should be asked to serve this country and become sick because of that service and not be given the health care that they've earned when they come home.
Many Vietnam veterans didn't receive the respect they deserve for serving their country, and now 50 years later, some are dealing with major health issues related to their service. Senator Gillibrand says giving these veterans easier access to these resources means even more to them.
This right's a wrong. We have always promised our service members that if you serve bravely and you serve anywhere around the globe, we are here for you when you come home.
Army veteran Michael Moran fought in Vietnam in 1971 and 72. A member of VVA Chapter 377, he says this expansion of benefits ensures no one who served gets left behind. Moran says he also hopes it will encourage the younger generations of veterans to use the aid if they need it.
We love it when people say thank you for your, service. We didn't get that welcome when we came back, so that's the good part. It's also great that they're recognizing and treating the newer veterans really well.
WNY's Sam Shapiro reporting there. Sam, thank you. Well, we have continuing coverage on New York State's one-house budget resolutions and the governor's proposals to increase the cigarette tax and ban menthol. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein talks to lawmakers about what the issues look like in the legislation.
This week in their one-house budget resolutions, New York legislators do not fully advance the governor's proposal to expand the state's ban on the sale of flavored vaping products and tobacco to include menthol. The Senate modifies the governor's proposal and the Assembly rejects it. The governor's budget also proposes a $1 increase to the cigarette tax, which both houses advance in their resolutions. But some lawmakers say these proposals are not the solution to reduce smoking.
It's not going to solve the problem. People are still going to smoke, whether you ban it, whether you even put advertising out there. They're going to do what they want to do, but they're going to go to the place where they can get it the cheapest.
Paul Massano adds New Yorkers will go to states like Pennsylvania, where the tax on cigarettes is $2.60, compared to New York's $4.35. Some cancer advocates feel differently. They say these proposals will help prevent New Yorkers from getting cancer and ultimately save lives.
One of the things that we know is that increasing the cost on a pack of cigarettes is one of the most effective things that you can do to reduce smoking rates and to drive people to quit. That, as well as reducing access to products like flavored tobacco products.
For advocate Rebecca Oshner, this fight is personal. She watched her father smoke most of his life. In March of 2013, Oshner's father was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. He died 20 days after his diagnosis.
If anybody needs a reason to quit smoking, it's watching someone dying of lung cancer in the ICU with hoses stuck into your lung, trying to drain them, trying to make you breathe.
Oshner says if her father didn't smoke, he might still be here today to watch her now 18-year-old daughter grow up and go to college to study forensic criminology. These proposals will be negotiated between legislators and the governor, and the final budget plan is due on April 1st. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. Well, if you may have unclaimed property in Pennsylvania's Treasury vaults, according to Treasury officials, there are over $4 billion in unclaimed property, with each claim averaging about $1,600. Property ranges from abandoned stocks and bank accounts to tangible items like military medals, jewelry, and savings bonds. Now, tangible items often come from abandoned safety deposit boxes, evidence from police departments, and other entities such as colleges, hospitals, and nursing homes. Last week, state officials and lawmakers announced a push for a legislation to make the claims process easier and more accessible for people.
Pennsylvania Money Match enables Treasury to proactively match and securely return unclaimed property to its rightful owner.
Officials say the legislation is based off of a similar money match program which currently is underway in 17 other states. Well, we return with a full look at our weather forecast and just how warm things are expected to get today and this week as the first official day of spring kicks off.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights,
Vests.
please give us some room.
slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you,
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under mostly sunny skies. 34 degrees is the current temperature at the Jamestown Airport with a southwest wind of 15 miles per hour. While today is the first day of spring. Spring will officially arrive at 5:24 p.m. and with the sun's rays directly pointing at the Earth's equator, we have almost an equal amount of daytime and nighttime with just a few extra minutes of daylight today. And we'll continue to add daylight until June 21st, which will be the first day of summer. And while we're headed into spring, the southern hemisphere starts their first day of fall today. The NOAA 6 to 10 day temperature outlook favors temperatures at right around normal as we head into the final week of March, with warmer than average temperatures found to our south. Across the Northeast right now, high pressure is providing dry weather across much of the Northeast and across much of the Great Lakes. As high pressure keeps us dry, there is a weak frontal boundary to our north, and that's going to drop through the night, maybe touching off a couple isolated showers, but most of the night should be dry. Let's time it out on future scan. Partly mostly sunny skies for the rest of the afternoon. Clouds will be on the increase tonight as that weak system drops by. I think this is overdoing it with the rain and snow showers tonight, but there might be an isolated shower most of the time. Tomorrow we should go partly to mostly sunny skies once again tomorrow. Then as we head in Tuesday night into Wednesday, a warm front's going to lift through the region on Wednesday. That's going to bring in a couple of rain showers for the day on Wednesday. Otherwise, it will be dry. And now the extended forecast powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Spring arrives today and temperatures will be warmer this week. And we'll go mid-40s today, close to 50 Tuesday and Wednesday, low to mid-50s on Thursday. But we will bring in some more rain showers on Thursday as a cold front moves through. And then we'll be tracking another system towards the end of the week that could bring some more rain and wet snow showers Friday into Saturday, but really no signs of any chillier air in the forecast anytime soon.
Hey, looks like spring is right on schedule here, Andrew. Thank you very much for that. Well, let's get some headlines now from around the nation. In Switzerland's largest bank, UBS, has agreed to accumulate the ailing Credit Suisse in an emergency bailout. The Federal Reserve and other global central banks announced a coordinated effort which they say will, quote, enhance the provision of liquidity via the standing U.S. dollar liquidity swap line arrangements. In layman's terms, they want to keep the credit available for households and businesses. But some analysts still have concerns and questions here. Goldman Sachs says there's a 35% chance of the U.S. entering a recession within the next year due to these banking problems. That's a 10% hike since the start of the crisis. Now, people with less than $250,000 or couples with $500,000 in a U.S. bank are insured by the FDIC and most likely have nothing to worry about. Similar programs are also available in European countries, too. Well, for the first time in history, a former president of the United States might be indicted for a crime as a grand jury investigation into crimes alleged to have been committed by former President Donald Trump is set to end. The former president is bracing for a possible arrest while law enforcement at every level prepare for protests that could likely follow. Gloria Pazmino is in New York with the latest for us today.
In a Truth Social post on Saturday, former President Donald Trump said he expects to be arrested on Tuesday.
I think it's not speculation. It's something that we're hearing. He needs to get ahead of it.
While there's no official word yet from the Manhattan District Attorney's office, grand jury proceedings are nearing the end, with the last-minute witness set to testify Monday at the request of Trump's legal team, according to a source familiar with the investigation.
This would be historically groundbreaking moves for a misdemeanor to try and bring it up to a charge where you're arraigning a former president.
Trump is being investigated for his role in an alleged hush money scheme involving payments made in 2016 by his then attorney Michael Cohen to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. An indictment would be a historic first and could make Trump an even more divisive figure on the campaign trail.
It does drastically change the paradigm as we go into the 24 election.
Echoing his calls for action after the 2020 election, Trump told his social media followers to, quote, protest and take our nation back.
If was this to happen, we want calmness out there.
Federal, state, and local authorities now preparing for the possibility of unrest.
We're always monitoring the situation here as best we can, and we obviously don't want to see any activity grow violent.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
5 young people were killed in a fiery crash in New York. Public safety officials in Westchester County, that's just outside of New York City, say the 4 males and 1 female killed were in the ages of 8 to 17. They were all from Connecticut. Authorities say it appears a 16-year-old was behind the wheel when the car reared off the road, hit a tree, and then burst into flames just after midnight Sunday. No other vehicles were involved. The only survivor of the crash was a 9-year-old boy who was apparently in the car's hatchback area and escaped from the rear of the car. Police are now investigating to figure out what caused this horrible, horrible accident. Well, coming up next, we celebrate the heroes across our region, certified nurses.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
You know, hunting
Caitlin
on
Armstrong.
private land has been quite the experience.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
An issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
Once those 4 graduate from the academy, it will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Sunday was International Certified Nurses Day. It's about the excellence and professionalism it takes to be an accredited and board certified in a number of specialties. Erie News Now's Marissa Thomas got some insight from a local nurse who has a number of certifications, and she tells her it's not easy.
A nurse might work by the bedside of a patient, in the emergency room, or in the operating room. As the work looks different depending on where the nurse is, the National Certified Nurses Day helps acknowledge nurses' specific expertise of one field.
And every single role that you go in is extremely different, which is one of the reasons why we have Certified Nurses Day nationwide, and why we celebrate that is because of all of the subspecialties within nursing that nurses can go into.
As a nurse for 10 years with 4 certifications herself, and as a member on a national certification board, Ashley Skarzensky knows how difficult these certifications are.
It's really, really hard to get your certification. It takes many, many hours to study, and I can say that for the CPAN and CAPA certifications, there's really only like a 65 to 70% pass rate. So there's no guarantee that you're going to pass that examination when you go in.
Though it takes a lot of hard work, studies have displayed that these certifications improve patient care.
The National Institutes of Health did show that nurses who are certified have higher rates of patient satisfaction, as well as lower rates of errors at the bedside. So really, it does have a direct impact on patients. And, our certified nurses are really, cream of the crop. They're the ones that are, going to take the best care of our patients.
Marissa Thomas, Erie News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you very much. Andrew joins me now at the desk. And, you think about that for so many careers, why not take it to the max and be as skilled as you can? And nursing especially, it's been highlighted throughout the last year with the pandemic and even beyond that. Now, healthcare is so important. So it's good to see many nurses, and I think appreciate them for staying up on their skills, trying to be the best they can, and then every day working in and out. I'm sure it's not an easy gig.
I mean, they deserve a lot of credit. They're all first responders after
Yeah.
everything they've dealt with the past few years with COVID and everything else. They deserve the credit and all the hard work they put into trying to keep everyone healthy.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's the one moment I had during the pandemic was Jamestown Police and Fire lined up outside of UPMC Chautauqua and thanked them, standing in solidarity with them. It was so special. So certainly we thank all of our nurses every day of the year, no matter what. Well, that's going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this live look outside of our window. Enjoy the sunshine while you can. The news continues at WNYNewsNow.com.